I'm Beth Ann.
What's up? I'm Ayla.
This is Let's Talk BL, a boys love podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast. It is Sunday, Series Sunday, the day of the week where we talk all things one series and one series only. So today, we're actually talking about a film, not a series, which we've done before. We've done Short Film Sunday before, but we've never done just like Movie Sunday.
We did with, what is the name of that Taiwanese trauma movie? The one with Birdie and what is the name of that?
Oh, I can see the movie poster.
I know, I can too.
Oh, I can like see it.
All I can think is Innocent, but it's not Innocent. What is the name of it? Oh my God. Everyone in the internet is probably like screaming at us right now.
Yeah, like I can't believe you don't remember the title. Oh my God. All I can think is I Feel You Linger in the Air, but that's not it.
No.
That's a show that's currently airing. But, like, it's something similar to that. Oh, my God. This is going to drive me crazy.
Clearly, we're starting this
my God.
Series Sunday off strong.
Oh, my God. Now that you mentioned that, why would you not have that prepared?
Well, because I didn't know you were going to be like, we've never done a movie before. It's on Netflix. I just remember the guy's name is Birdie.
Your name engraved herein.
Ah, thank God. It's very similar to, like, I Feel You Linger in the Air.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. There's a lot of words and it's poetic. Like,
if you're not watching this on YouTube, we got mic stands, and so we're going to be so much more expressive because we can use our hands so much
we're also
more.
just trying to figure out what to do and, like, if this is even going to sound right because, like, your mouth has to be in a certain position on the mic. And also, listen, everybody knows that we have deep trauma when it comes to sound. Everybody knows we have issues and problems.
I don't want to talk about it.
And everybody knows this is not our strong suit, but like we're trying so hard.
We're trying. Anyways, y'all, we're talking red, white, and royal blue.
Yes. Not Asian. I don't know why we started out talking about the Taiwanese, but talking about a movie and we're going America. This is only the second Western one we've ever done because we've done Heartstopper.
Yes. And we've never done an American.
No.
Fully. Like half. I feel like we're easing into like next we're gonna do like Love, Simon. That's like a full American one because this one's half British, half.
Oh sure, okay.
Right, like we're easing our way back to America.
I don't know that I would call it half. This is very much like American fantasy, right? Like Finding Your Prince. Like this is like the childhood American,
and
like
also very political.
And it's so So we have so many things going. So many agendas are going. None of the agendas in this are hidden.
Oh.
So. You know.
Oh my God.
There's a lot happening in this movie.
Let's get to the nuts and bolts and then we can talk the movie. It's going to be really hard not to say series. Okay. The movie is about 2 hours. It's on Amazon Prime. As Alex Claremont Diaz, we have Taylor Zakar Perez. And Prince Henry is played by Nicholas Galitzine.
I love that you have a harder name with this than some of the
like,
Thai
what
names.
The heck?
Well, I haven't even looked.
He's British. How is his name so difficult? Galitzine?
I would think it was Galitzine, but I don't know.
I definitely should have gone on YouTube and like looked up how to
listen
pronounce
to them
things.
saying it.
Who would have guessed?
Okay. Synopsis time.
I can't wait.
This is bound to be good. When the feud between the son of an American president and Britain's prince threatens to drive a wedge in U.S.-British relations, the two are forced into a staged truce that sparks something deeper.
What an excellent synopsis.
It's great. You know what? And maybe we just think it's great because this is the style of synopsis we're used to as Americans.
And it's not translated.
Right.
Fully English. Spoken in English.
Side note, I have no idea if this is available literally outside of America because it's on Amazon Prime, but like I have no idea what the availability of this is.
Yeah, tell us if you're outside of the US and I guess the Europe.
Does Amazon Prime as a streaming service, is that a thing outside of America? Is that a thing in Europe? I genuinely don't know.
I don't either.
Because just like, let's be very clear. Just because there is a British person and a British theme doesn't mean this is available in Europe, and also does not mean that it accurately represents the British. Because Americans, this is one of our. Listen, we have many flaws. So many flaws. There are so many flaws with Americans, but one of the flaws of Americans is like hating the monarchy. Like there's this like monarchy bad monarchy. Dump the tea in the harbor.
Except
America. But also
the royal family.
Like having like a weird obsession with the monarchy.
Yes.
There's this like weird
Yeah, because that royal family show is like huge here, and Bridgerton was huge here.
The Crown, I believe, is when you're talking about. Yes. Bridgerton is huge, and all of the like.
Although Bridgerton didn't have anything
produced.
to do with the royal family.
No,
it was.
Well, I mean, British. There is a queen, but like it's not the royal family.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like a fantasy world.
This is gonna be so chaotic because there's so many things.
Americans are very flawed when it comes to like the monarchy and like British culture and like everything to do, because there's this like weird thing that's taught to us. It's definitely like a cultural thing that I feel like people hear Americans talk about, but like you don't, it's hard to explain like how deeply seated you are taught to just like hate the monarchy, like how much you are taught to like deeply believe that like specifically the British monarchy, but kind of like all monarchies, but specifically the British monarchy is like evil. That's like the devil.
I wonder if that's very Texan, because I didn't grow up with that, right? Because the Brits, I guess you're taught in history that like we came to America.
You're taught in history. It's very like
the history of America is like we escaped persecution from the Brits.
Yep. I'm not saying like people like somebody outwardly says it to you, because that doesn't happen.
But
this
our
is
history,
very much like what's it called? Oh my gosh! Like it's essentially brainwashing. It's like nationalism. It's nationalism. It's the way that we're taught nationalism, and it's definitely done in like a very brainwashy type of way, because you're taught a specific thing to believe in history class. We escaped
persecution
based on the founding of our country, which, you know, dump the tea in the harbor. The redcoats are the devil, all of this business, right? You're taught like Paul Revere, hell yeah, 1886, let's do this. Or that's 1886 is a Texan thing, but like
But yeah, it's so true. Then you come to modern day and you're like obsessed with the royal family. Literally every Disney movie is about like a prince.
Because it's about finding your prince, right? And I remember like
the only royal family that we really know is the British one.
I'm a little too young to really have been swept up in the Prince William situation. Like, but I remember, like, I'm a little too young for that, but I have an older sister and I have older cousins, and I'm friends with, like, people that are slightly, like, a little older than me, that, like, I do remember and know that, like, that was like Prince William was like a big deal thing, where everybody was like, oh my God, I need to figure out, like, this is like weirdly the American dream is not actually like bootstrapping and like work your way to the top and like become a self-made millionaire.
Be royalty.
No. Weirdly, the American dream is essentially to find your prince and become is essentially to be Meghan Markle with less drama.
Yes.
Like our girl Megan is actually living like every American like child's dream.
It's true.
Weirdly. So all of this goes to say Americans have a very weird specific relationship and like view of like the monarchy, specifically the British monarchy, and like what that represents and who those people are supposed to be and how they're like,
because it's like a fairy tale, because we don't see the reality of royalty outside, because we're outside of the UK, and so all we get taught is like the prince fairy tale thing, and then you find out the like royal family actually exists, and you're like, oh my gosh,
it's like legitimately a fairy tale. So this movie, I'll be honest, this was a request, so this actually got requested quite a few times for us to do,
and when it came out I saw a lot about it, but like honestly I wasn't impressed with like the faces of the actors.
I just wasn't really like,
it didn't grab me. No.
And I definitely went into this thinking like, I'm not gonna like this. Like I definitely went into it like expecting to dislike it.
Yeah.
And then I really, really did.
I really liked it too.
It was really cute.
Yeah, same.
It was really cute. So this is a classic and hard enemies to lovers.
I'm obsessed. And a rom-com.
And a secret admirer.
Rom-com of the, like, early 2000s.
This is very, like, she's the man. Like,
What a Girl Wants.
It's very, like, honestly, if
First Daughter. God, I love all of those rom-coms.
If Amanda Bynes was cast in this and, like, the late 90s, this easily could have been like an Amanda Bynes movie, Hundo P. Yeah. Like, and so it's very nostalgic, I feel like, for Americans.
Hold on, wait. Who would you cast in the early 2000s as like these roles, like just Henry and Alex, like who would those actors be?
Well, Alex, so wait, are we keeping it LGBTQ, or are we like going full like early 2000s rom-com, which would be hetero?
No, we're keeping it the same.
Keeping it LGBTQ.
Just replace the actors with early 2000s actors.
Okay. I don't, like, that's hard for me because I was so young in the early 2000s.
I have one of them. I would want Channing Tatum to play Alex.
Oh, in my brain, Channing Tatum's like an old man, because when I was
because he was in She's the Man. He played.
I know, but in like her. I was a kid when that came out, so for me in my brain, I'm like, he's an old man. 2000. Why would he be? Yeah. But that's why I say, like, this is hard for me because, like, when I was in the early 2000s, I was a kid. So, like...
I also really liked the British love interest of Amanda Bynes in What a Girl Wants.
I'm trying to think. This is very difficult.
I know. It is really hard because you're like, what are those...
Because I, like, again, I was roles? A kid. Like, mine maybe come in a little bit later. Like, as
what
far
are the, like,
as
teen rom-coms you grew up on?
Who I would, like, swap in. I feel like I could see... I genuinely don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know who could do this script. Because here's the thing is, like, when I was a kid, like, those early 2000s male actors...
They were really side characters. They were such side characters.
Yeah, were not the focus. And they were, like, pretty toxic. Like, they all, like, men... you know, Freddie Prinze Jr. could play in this role.
He could, yeah.
But, like, in general, male characters in rom-coms were pretty toxic. Even, and I know this is sacrilege, and I know some people will, like, clutch their pearls and be like, oh my God, Ayla. Like, even Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You, pretty toxic.
Yeah. I agree.
Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt in 500 Days of Summer, toxic.
I'm trying
to think.
Like,
men are garbage is the problem.
Yes. Of, like, maybe the Disney world. Like, a Zac Efron
Disney
is, like,
or Nickelodeon?
Alex, Claremont Diaz, and then who would play
I mean, Josh Hutcherson actually would probably kill it.
Can he do a British accent?
What?
Can he do a British accent? He'd play a fun Prince Henry.
I don't know.
Because that's the other hard part is I don't know many like British actors of that time period.
I mean, if we're making it full early 2000s, it would have to have like an edgy theme, right? It couldn't be this like we're progressive and we have a woman president and like it definitely couldn't be that. But like weirdly, I feel like I know he was never an actor, but like Ryan Sheckler could be a good like Alex, because Alex is like kind of a bro.
I was obsessed with Ryan Sheckler.
Oh, me too. Ryan Sheckler was so cute. Whatever happened to Ryan Sheckler?
I saw something recently about Ryan Sheckler because I think he had like a crisis, obviously.
Oh no.
Obviously.
Right.
Anyways, okay, back.
So
back to
this
reality.
show is very American, or this movie is very American. One thing, of course, I appreciate is they're from Texas.
Yes.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that we're wearing UT, which of course is Alex's school. It's where Alex goes, UT Austin. Also, one of the most difficult schools to get into in Texas is State School, one of the most difficult schools to get into in America. I did not graduate from UT. I did graduate from another Texas school, so I am literally in pain wearing this on my body right now.
Although I will say, you should go to YouTube and watch this because Ayla has perfectly matched her like hair to her like blush to her lips to her shirt.
Listen,
it is a look.
I
will say I do like that shirt. It's very cute.
How dare you? How dare you?
Listen, I get it.
Whose house? Go Cougs. No.
Although, is Houston a rival of UT? Because like they're not in the same conference, I'm assuming.
No, but all the Texas schools are. It's like you're your own. Like the two schools that really are A&M and UT are the like rivals.
Yeah.
But like basically every Texas school
rivals each other.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not how it is in North Carolina. In North Carolina, you pick an ACC school. If you don't go to an ACC school, you pick an ACC school.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you're like there's a lot of like school pride here, even like because every
I
school
have
kind
school
of has
pride,
the
but-
thing that they're good at. So
Yeah,
like
oh,
Houston's
yeah.
is basketball.
I see.
Our sport is basketball. I remember when I was in school, we started like really winning, like really doing well in basketball, and it was like a big deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the movie.
So, I do appreciate that they're from Texas. However, one of my biggest gripes,
This is very funny.
Uma Thurman.
Well, that was the confusing part because at first you didn't realize they were from Texas.
No,
and I
because
was like,
Uma busts out
oh,
with
they're
this
from
crazy
Texas.
accent.
Right.
And I'm like,
It made
there's
no
no
sense.
way they're from Texas based on the way this woman is speaking. Not a chance.
She sounds like she's from like Alabama
I
/
have
Mississippi.
no idea.
Because I wonder where Uma Thurman is from. Because if you're not from any of the southern states, be it Texas or the actual like deep south southern states, you don't understand that Texas isn't the South.
I was like, Uma, what are we doing here? And
Where's Uma
even
Thurman
then,
from?
like, they have the UT logo on Alex's computer, and it's like not quite right. I assume it's because it's like a licensing issue. They had to like tweak it a little bit.
Yes.
And I was like,
It's because she's from Boston.
oh.
That makes sense.
Anyways,
tracks.
they're from Texas. I appreciate this. Texas pride.
Yes.
This is great. A big plot point ends up being them like trying to flip Texas, which if you're
Yes.
from the States or not from the States, you don't really understand like deeply the politics of the United States. Texas has always...
I'm from the U.S. and I don't understand the politics.
I also don't really understand the politics, but like... Texas has always been red, which is Republican. And so we have two major parties in the States, Republicans and Democrats.
Right.
Red and blue. Republicans are red, Democrats are blue. Texas has always been red. However, in the past two elections, we've been technically classified as purple.
Right.
Because some of our bigger counties, including Houston, go Houston, big
Like
ups
city
to us,
centers, yeah.
go blue. Go Democrat,
Yeah.
which the Democratic Party is historically LGBTQ friendly, historically like
more progressive and liberal.
more progressive, better with like human rights and social rights and things
Right.
like that. It's just kind of like the big ticket items there.
But yeah, the big plot point was turning Texas blue.
Was flipping Texas blue, like all the way blue, which I did think was interesting because yeah, in the past the past two elections we've been purple.
I will say,
But-
an LGBTQ movie is probably not going to be watched by a red Republican who's going to be angry about that. So this is
know.
like the safest place they could like have this type of storyline.
But also, I really appreciated that, like, Texas was the state we were going for. Like, Texas is the place we can turn blue. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. I will say too, I didn't mind all the politics. I will say I don't care for all the politics talk because it's just constant here in the last I guess since like I've become an adult, really, but like really in the past like 10 years, I guess.
We've had some controversy.
So
America has had a controversy or two. I don't know if anyone's heard.
we take 10 steps we take one step forward and 10 steps backward. It's just how it goes. This headband is really problematic. My head does not really fit headbands. Anyways,
so sorry.
but I didn't mind the politics talk in this. It wasn't like, why are we still talking about politics in a movie that I'm watching?
My favorite part is that we open with Alex at a royal wedding.
Yes.
And he clearly has some sort of feelings already for Henry because he's like, bothers him that Henry doesn't like him. And so, like, if it bothers you that somebody is
He's going to be so in love with this boy.
Exactly, right? Like,
it.
why are you thinking about it so hard?
good.
Listen, I've been there. I understand. There was one time I met a boy and literally for like the next week I was like, why was he so weird? What was wrong with him?
And now you're madly, deeply in love
now,
with him.
Look where we are. And so, like, I like how they set that up. That, like, he clearly liked him, but he didn't even know he liked him.
Right.
And then, yes, with the cake, And it's an international incident. It was like the softest international incident they could have, which is that these two got covered in cake and don't like each other. And the idea that the British Prime Minister is like, how dare you, now we will not resume trade relations with you, is absurd.
That opening scene very much felt like a scene from a Disney movie.
Yeah.
It definitely, you see it coming. There's some comfort in these tropes that you're like, yes, I know it's going to happen, and I can't wait to watch it happen.
I'm so excited. I love the progressiveness, right? We've got a woman president in America, which is amazing.
So good.
We also have a female prime minister who is also Black.
That's so good.
So we've got a lot of progressiveness going on. Also, Alex is mixed race, which is very cool.
Well, yes, and he's Mexican.
Yes.
Half Mexican in the White House. Fantastic. We at some point in the show we were like, we should have a checklist of all the woke,
the
quote unquote, the quote unquote woke box. That's another term. I wonder if that's a term that's ever used anywhere outside the U.S.
Woke,
Lord have mercy. Talk about a hot button topic.
Yeah.
Snowflake and woke are the two political terms that have been polarized to the point of ridiculousness. That progressives are you guys are silly that you care so
Snowflake has a
much.
double political sword in Texas specifically.
Oh, yes. But so yes, the woke list just kept going of are we gonna hit every box of progressive things, which I thought was funny. Aside from all of that, the actual relationship between these two boys I thought was really interesting because you do have two extremes of, yes, the UK is pretty progressive, but you have this royal family that is very much not, and he's not allowed to be fully who he wants to be in this system. And a little bit Alex sees that because he is part of the White House.
He has an image to uphold.
Yes.
He's the one that gets sent to go mend fences with Henry.
Right.
Yeah. And another thing that's interesting that's also very culturally American, which is why I'd be fascinated to know if anybody outside of America was able to watch this film.
Yeah.
Is because when he goes with him to the hospital to read the stories to the kids when they're mending fences and they hear the pops.
Yes. Yeah.
And Alex immediately slams Henry into that closet. And at first, both of us were like, oh, does he have trauma? And then both of us were like, no, he's just American. We're so hard. Listen, sounds so bad. We're ripping America, but we
live here. We can't. It's your family. You can talk about your family.
Also, the truth is the truth. Facts are facts. And at this point, Americans are so hardwired to just be aware for gun violence literally at all times. We're just literally, I don't know, I expect to potentially get shot when I go to Target.
Yeah.
It's literally just a risk I take. And I realize that probably sounds horrifying to anybody listeing to this that's outside of America.
It's the context that there's a whole war going on in a country. So and they live their life semi-normally as much as they can.
Yeah.
And the Middle East has dealt with that kind of stuff all the time. So I guess it was about time for America. You know what I'm saying? We haven't dealt with something quite like this in our country up until recently. It's just such a weird, it's a weird mentality to have. So the fact that they showed it in a movie was
in a different country, which I thought was fascinating, right? Because even Henry is what the hell, dude? Henry is oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, the dynamic between these two boys was really sweet.
But then that scene in the closet is so fun because this is when we establish our enemies to lovers trope.
Yes.
This is when you realize that Henry, or at least I picked up, I was like, oh, Henry liked him from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because when he's like, why don't you like me? And Alex is like, well, because remember when we met and I really just needed a friend and you were rude to me. And he's like, you said, I need to get out of here. Or he said, get me out of here. And Henry was like, well, actually, that's not what I said. What I said was, I need to get out of here. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, it's because he liked him.
I like that conversation, too, because that so much happens between relationships with people that we don't take into account that like other people can be going through things. And so many people take so many things personally because they're like, oh, he obviously doesn't want to be around me. But like, he was like, no, my dad literally just died and I was being forced to be social. Like, why do you think this is about you?
Yeah. And also he saw a cute boy and he wasn't allowed to be gay. And he was just like, there was a lot of things happening for him.
I also did appreciate the fact that like the love rival / like jilted lover was a political reporter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And also what's funny about this is if you're in the BL fandom, if you've seen BL bro Matt on TikTok.
Oh my god, yes.
Listen, I gotta say, Matt, I don't know if you're listening or not, but like, they do look
so much
very similar.
alike.
They could be brothers.
I know him going through it on TikTok over like the comparisons and being like, don't come for me. Hey, you could be an actor now.
Yeah, oh my god.
That is really funny.
Well, and it's funny because like Matt is also like lives in Texas. It's just like very funny.
True.
Anyways, I did appreciate that because I was like, this is a fun like BL fandom crossover like situation that's just funny.
I did appreciate that reporter had zero chill when it came to how jealous he was.
Also, he clearly leaked those emails. What's wrong with him?
I know.
I was so upset. Like when the emails got leaked, I was like, and then that reporter called him out. She was like, so they got posted on Reddit. And then like less than an hour later, you released your story. How did you have time to read through 82 emails? And he was like, I don't know. I'm a speed reader. What do you want from me? But like, I love that she called him on his BS. I was like, you don't get to out people.
No. That is also very American political scene of like leaking emails.
Oh yeah.
That's how it's going to go.
It's very American. I also love that these men are having, this is just so, it's so like, it's like the Lincoln letters. Again, this is such an American reference I'm making. Is that like, okay.
It's weird because we almost always are talking about like Thai things.
I know, it's
like,
so weird to talk about this in the context of America. So if you're listening to this and you're outside of the U.S. and you don't know what the Lincoln letters are, Abraham Lincoln, president, American president, very famous. You've probably heard his name even if you're not American. There's like a very long standing, some historians agree with this, some do not. It's kind of like this historian showdown of who's right and who's wrong. But basically there's rumor that he was actually gay. He of course was married to Mary Todd Scott. We all know all of the old Mary Todd. We all know about Mary Todd. But there are some letters between him and like an advisor / confidant that like historians have found that like supposedly point to or like suggest that they, based on like the language back in the day,
everyone's a little gay,
that they were like actually in a relationship together. And like there's and Lincoln actually was like a Republican, which like, but again, people forget that the Republican Party and the Democrat Party actually like switched value propositions essentially. And so like there's a joke, they actually make a joke on like an American cartoon show about like log cabin Republicans because like Lincoln and this dude like spent a lot of time in a log cabin together.
They weren't just penong, so the Thai would say.
Mary Todd and Lincoln slept in separate bedrooms because of course you have, anyway, there's like in the White House, you know all the rooms in the White House, Lincoln's bedroom. Anyways, so like this is like the Lincoln letters essentially. Like, so did these boys not learn their lesson from history? No. Because both of them are very well educated in history and politics.
I don't know why this made me think of it. One of my favorite scenes by far is, I think, is it her chief of staff, the president's chief of staff, I don't remember her name, where she comes in and she realizes that Alex has someone in his room and she thinks it's a girl, and she's like tearing up the room trying to figure it out, and when she finds Henry, her reaction.
Oh, she's amazing.
Fantastic.
This actress, I love her. I am like down bad for this woman because also she's the one where she's like, she calls this man, oh my God, the butler who's not a butler.
Yes.
What was his name? Oh, I wish I could remember.
I don't
his
remember,
name.
but he's like the horse guy.
Yes.
But not the horse guy?
No, it sounds like equestrian, but the word is not aquarian. He's the aquarian, which is a butler that's not a butler. Anyways. And it turns out
they're banging.
They're banging, and she calls him up, and she's like, one of her other finer moments is she's like, I know we said we'd never use these phones, but I need you to put Henry on the phone right now because I'm so tired of these homosexuals. Like, the way she says it is so funny. Like, this woman kills me, and she's like, and if you don't do it, you can forget ever seeing me naked again. And even Alex in that moment is like,
I know. That was a curveball we didn't see coming.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved all of the hookups. I loved the first hookup in the White House. I loved the Secret Service woman. The Secret Service woman was my other favorite part of the show.
She was incredible. Going back to the hookups, we're not gonna pass them that quickly. The one scene that I did see take over Twitter was the like hand moment where he like where they're making love and he pushes him into himself. Right, we were freaking out about that. I think all the like BL fans who are like used to very specific NC scenes from the Asians is like, this was very Western, which was very interesting.
Yeah, I appreciated the polo hookup.
That was incredible.
That was a funny one.
That very much reminded me of Princess Diaries because they hook up or they like kiss in that boathouse.
In the boathouse, yeah, at the party.
Who hasn't had a good makeout session in a shed in the?
And she tries to pop her foot and it doesn't work, and that's how you know he is not the one for her.
So
Thank
good.
you.
Speaking of, I loved Princess. Yeah, me too. I read all those books. I watched all the movies. So good. But yeah, the emotions, I will say I really like the depth between these two, like the conflict. They really did it well. The scene in the museum where he's like, let me show you. And he was like, I wanted to bring my boyfriend one day. It was so good. Yeah. Also, I was like, there are definitely cameras in here, guys. Like, and that wasn't that something that like they got revealed because there were like cameras in there? Somebody like found the footage from that. Did I make that up?
You literally made that up.
Anyways, I was like, there's definitely cameras in here that somebody's gonna see and be like, oh my god, he's gay. Also, the fact that Henry was like, we can't kiss in front of this like security guard, but like if you spent 2 minutes with Henry, you have to know,
right? But I think it like for that, I was like, they're like in a very public, they're like out in the open air,
like in a park somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I liked this movie.
I did really enjoy this movie. It was very nostalgic. It was very like,
it was
this
so
is a good one, actually.
It was. I would rewatch it.
I would totally rewatch this. It also reminded me a little bit when they're at the vacation house that's like in the desert, somewhere in the desert in Texas. When they're like, that whole trip reminded me a little bit of Call Me by Your Name. Whenever they're like swimming and they like jump up on the dock and they have that conversation.
That scene was beautiful.
That scene reminded me a lot of like Call Me by Your Name, like the way it was written and the way that it was filmed and the style of it all.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I wish we would get more movies like this in the West for just the LGBT, because I feel like we get a lot of like super serious, like the Call Me by Your Name or the Brokeback Mountains, or we get like the super campy ones, but none of these like fun like rom-com, like these weren't teens and they weren't even college students, which was refreshing. Like they were full adults, which was cool, but like it was,
I mean, technically Alex is a college student. He's actively going to UT. Like he's in class a bunch of times.
Right.
Yeah.
He just looks so much older. You know, the Western. But yeah, it was like nice to kind of have this classic, like we were saying, like the classic rom-com feel. I enjoyed it. I want more like this.
I very much liked it.
It was good.
This was a good one. I would love to know, if you're not from the States, please drop in the comments, like, is this accessible outside of America? I genuinely don't know. We were like, yes, we'll totally do this. This was a request. And then I was like, wait.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people can actually get this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like, is Heartstopper available on every Netflix platform?
I believe so.
Like, we don't get a lot of the Thai Netflix stuff.
Right.
But do the Thai get the, like, Western Netflix stuff?
Some of it.
Or, like, Asia?
Because one of my things when I travel is I do like to open up Netflix and just see what's there, like, see what I can see. Like, I did that when I went to Korea, which, by the way, Korean Netflix a banger.
Nice.
So much good stuff. Korean Netflix rules. Thai Netflix was good too. I opened up Netflix when we were in Thailand.
We've gotten a couple of Thai shows, like Nui's I Need Romance was on ours.
Yeah, and we had Saints Ghost one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's Fight Ghosts.
Yes.
I did watch that.
And we had Lovesick.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I haven't looked up to see if
we have
Saints'
some
new
horror
show.
movies. Like, we do have some, like, horror stuff. Yeah. We have, The Stranded.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to know, if you're not in the States, can you watch this? Have you watched this? If you are in the States, did you watch this? What did you think?
Yeah. Speaking of Thailand,
we're going to Thailand.
Oh my God.
We're hosting a group trip to Thailand August 29th through September 4th, 2024. So basically exactly a year from now.
So exciting. Come with us.
The trip is already open for bookings. You can come with us. As of right now, right at this very moment.
3 spots?
There are 3 spots available. I want to double check that before I say that. Let me double check. Just like give me like a second to double check that the 3 spots is still correct, because it's been, yes, 3 spots is still correct.
Nice.
So as of when we recorded this, there are 3 spots available. I don't know if that's going to be true when this is released.
Yes.
But I hope that it is, or I hope that there's at least 1 spot left, so that if you're hearing this, you can go register it. That being said, if it does sell out, you can still go sign up for the trip, because if somebody has an emergency and has to cancel their spot, there will be a wait list.
Yeah.
And so you could potentially be pulled off that wait list if somebody has to cancel. Some cool highlights about the trip is that we're going to Bangkok and Chiang Mai, which is going to be awesome. We're doing a lot of very fun BL stuff, and you can check out the entire itinerary. Link will be in the description of this episode, but we are going to go to GMMTV and do some souvenir shopping. We are going to go eat at Texas Chicken. We are going to go to all of the malls.
How appropriate, Texas Chicken.
Yes.
Nice.
We are going to go to all of the malls.
Yes.
You have the opportunity to go get a massage at Earth's Massage Parlor.
Okay.
We're also going to go cafe hopping and go to a bunch of different cafes owned by some of our favorite celebrities.
Yes.
And on top of all of that, we're doing super fun, cool Thailand stuff, because as we know, there is so much more to Thailand than just BL. So we are going to be experiencing the food and the culture, and especially Chiang Mai. I'm so excited to do this again. We just went with Element, but this time around,
saw very little of Chiang Mai.
We're doing some stuff that we just didn't have a chance to do, but we're also going to do one thing with you guys that we did with Element already. And so I'm very excited to go back and do it again. So keep an eye out for the Element blog to get like a sneak peek of what you could do with us. Anyways,
it'll be so fun.
You can go book. Some other details is that all you have to have is 25% down, and then you can make payments that work for you. They also accept Affirm if that's your jam. We'll have a cool, fun group chat coming soon for everyone in the group, so that we can like talk and plan and like link up beforehand and get to know each other. And we also will be bringing you guys presents.
Oh my gosh.
There will be presents. There will be so much. And I'm so excited. So go book. Link is in the description of this episode. You can also still buy merch if you'd like. Merch is available at shop.letstalkbl.com.
Do it. This has been Let's Talk BL. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all things Let's Talk BL at Let's Talk BL.